ahead, do it.
I think I invited Ishmael. I think that's he's there. Okay. Oh, that's exciting. I'm so happy all of you guys are here. Oh, I'm hearing some. Oh, hi, Peggy.
Hello.
Okay. Hi, Ishmael.
Hey, how are
Yes, and I can hear you. I've got my speaker here.
you?
I was
Nice.
just telling everyone my phone is ancient, so I can't hear you from the phone. But the speaker I can. Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Oh, maybe I have to. Can you hear me?
I could hear you. What about you? Can you hear me as well?
Yes. I can hear you great. Yes. Okay. All right. Oh, we have already a question? Okay, wait. So, first of all, I wanted to say thank you so much for being here. I was just praying, meditating. I am so grateful for you and what you've been saying, the bravery you've been having to go out and speaking about all the things you're speaking about. So, can you maybe present yourself first for everybody who doesn't know you?
Sure. No, I'm having difficulty hearing you. You sound like you're really far away.
Okay, I think it's because, can you hear me now?
A little better. Yes.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna do what you usually do. I'm gonna put these on.
Okay.
Because, yeah, if you don't hear me, that's okay. Okay. Wait.
Can you hear me?
Oh, much better. Oh,
Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, good. I'm glad. All right. Yeah, the technology issues is my biggest fear when it comes to lives. But okay, now we're good. You can hear me. I can hear you perfectly as well. Okay. So I was saying that I'm very grateful for everything you've been doing, going around, speaking. It's definitely spoken to me and to so many people, and I think there's a reason for it. So I wanted maybe for you to say a little bit about you, present yourself for anybody who maybe wouldn't know you, and yeah, what you speak about.
sure. My name is ISMAEL Perez. I'm the author of Our Cosmic Origin, book, The Earth, the Galactic, regarding the cosmos, our purpose, where we come from, what we're here. I'm also a cosmic Earth representing a lot of many guardian races here to help restoration of heaven on earth and also the awakening process. So I came out of my shell, I guess, out of the closet about 2 years ago, maybe now,
Right.
in order to reveal the next level of disclosure. Yes, also remind the Starseeds of their mission.
Yeah.
I am, it's an honor. Very excited. Events that are about to unfold.
Amen. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I was just gonna ask, it was cutting up. I understood everything you said, but it was cutting up a little bit. So they're saying that it was breaking up a little bit. It could just be the live, Ishmael. It could just, so you're fine. But guys, if you can't hear me.
Okay, let me get my earpiece. No, I can hear you. But
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Guys, this is like everything that happens on Instagram. This is like, I feel like every time I have a live, there's an issue like that. Thank you guys for keeping us posted on the sound here. Okay, good. The mic. Okay. Sometimes, guys, it's the mic, and sometimes it literally is the.
what about now? Can you hear me better?
Perfectly. Yes,
Awesome.
yes. Guys, let us know that you can hear Ishmael. I can hear you so clear now. Yeah.
Nice.
I think it must be fixed on their end as well. Have discernment and feel your body on where it sits when you hear information. So you said, actually, I'll let you say it. Why am I talking? Between the heart and the gut. I'll let you say it because.
Okay, so what I mean is that when we are receiving downloads or any sort of transmissions that are coming from, different dimensions or other extraterrestrials, the best way to check to see if the information is accurate is by feeling it in the heart. If you don't feel it in the heart, it's because it's coming from imposters, from tricksters, or negative ETs that are posing to be Galactic Federation, and that's what they call the false light.
Right.
But if you feel it in the heart, it's actually coming from, your galactic family. Yes, it's coming
Yes.
from sources that are here to help you align to your highest purpose.
Exactly. And that speaks to me. It seems so simple, but if we are in tune with this body, it really usually works. It's very accurate. I think Elena Danaan also speaks about that. She's been speaking about, be careful if you're going to channel and do these things. There's lovely things we can encounter, but be careful, who you allow to use your vehicle you speak to. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. I'll ask you the very first question. That's kind of the obvious question. So I call it the coconut 19 because I'm tired of hearing the same word. I thought coconut 19 is a little bit more fun. So can you speak to us about the coconut 19 and how it relates to what you call our galactic cosmic origin? So how is, the past 2 years, now 3 years, how does that relate to our history? So cosmically, how does that relate?
It's the final showdown between the ancient war against artificial intelligence. And so the Coconut 19 was their last effort to really rank up the nanotechnology inside people's bodies in order to eventually connect them to the Borg mind. And so that's part of the nefarious agenda, of course. And it has a lot to do with the war that we've been engaged in. And it's not just our planet. Many extraterrestrial races have been inflicted by this
Right.
artificial intelligence.
Right.
Um, and so it's we're in that final finale. They're trying so hard to prevent our dormant DNA from activating, and in turn they're trying so hard to convert our organic genetic material into an inorganic cybernetic material. And
Right.
so the ultimate evil is AI.
AI.
Yeah,
Yes. And for the few people who may not know, you may have AI elements in something that you may have received or are thinking about receiving. Yeah, because some people still, they have a very hard time perceiving that can happen. Uh, you know, yeah.
hmm
Um, I wanted to ask you a question that's just it's slightly related to that.
hmm
Do you know why for the Coconut 19 they gave Greek letters? Because I'm originally Greek, so so apparently they didn't want to give it the Chinese letters to not offend. But then I'm thinking, I wonder if the Greeks are offended because all the letters are Greek. Do you have any thoughts on that?
No, I thought they were just regular letters. I didn't know that they were Greek letters. Yeah, I
Yes,
haven't.
delta, gamma.
Oh yeah, that's those are well. They also use those terminologies to describe the different brain frequencies. So
They
yes,
do.
I get.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, Greek, because Greek had so much science and knowledge from the past, right? But, uh, I know that it's traditionally used in science, but it's just, I personally find it a little bit suspicious and interesting. And I actually had a thought. I was wondering if it was a code. So you know how like ancient writings have codes in the letters? I was wondering if that was a code. Because of course they love working with codes, right? This
It could
that
be.
could
Yeah. It could be a code because what's happening is the AI system that we are developing here in this day of age is actually connected to the ancient AI, and it's also connected to its a future version of itself in the future, which is all one
Right.
AI system. So the AI has already been using time travel. You
Right.
know, the moment it became self-aware, and the moment it reached the level of super AI, which is what they call in the scientific community a technological singularity, and many believe that that has already been achieved in secret. Is the moment that happened, that AI already started time traveling in order to, you know, make sure that the AI timeline becomes absolute. But
Right.
again, you know, we're dealing with the the whole concept of creation is depending on what happens. So it's not going to happen that way because, you know, right now we're receiving intervention and assistance from the most advanced races in the cosmos who are
Right.
organically, right. They're trying to make sure that the organic timeline becomes, you know, complete and becomes saved from the AI timeline. So that's why
Yes.
we came here. You know, we starseeds in actuality, we come from the future. And there
Right.
is a correspondence between higher dimensions and the future. The moment we ascend into higher dimensions, we're going into the future because as we go into higher dimensions, there is no time. You know, time is all
Right.
taking place at the same time. So
Right.
what's happening is many of us decided to time travel into the here and the now in order to prevent the AI timeline from taking place.
In the
So that's what,
future.
yeah, exactly, in the
Yeah.
future. So,
Yeah.
so on that level of reality, it's a war of timelines, you know?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's so hard for us to grasp, you know. I say I live on Greek time, you know. It's difficult culturally because being on time is so hard for me. But that's an even different concept, is the concept that there's different timelines. And I think well, you were saying something fascinating. Well, one of the many things you were saying that maybe you can explain that how there are two timelines coexisting and then they're about to separate
Yes,
on this earth.
there's a third dimensional timeline that is coexisting with the fifth dimensional timeline. See, the fifth dimensional Earth is already here. It's just vibrating at a different frequency. So
Frequency.
all we have to do is just, I guess, match our vibrational frequency to that of the fifth dimensional Earth, so that we could, you know, eventually end up on that timeline. And many of us are already doing that.
Yeah.
And so those that are not going to make the fifth dimensional timeline are those that are not raising their frequency, or perhaps those that are still buying into the, you know, the
Mm-hmm.
whatever you want to call it, the coconut
Yeah.
19, you know, agenda. And there's going to come a time where those two timelines are going into two different directions.
Right.
And that's called the splitting of the timelines. And there's many other sources that have talked about that other than myself, you know, like
Yes. Yes.
Dolores Cannon and stuff, and other spiritual
Right.
people.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. I'm just discovering the Lotus canon, but I'm, you know, I love, love, love our little community. So I discovered Alex Collier, who I absolutely love, Elena Danan. I also love, I wonder if you know Wendy Kennedy.
Mm-mm. I don't know Wendy
She,
Kenji.
yeah, Wendy Kennedy. A lot of things that you said, she spoke about. Um, she channels the Pleiadians, the ninth dimensional Pleiadians. Very beautiful frequency. So I wanted to make a connection with Dr. Michael Sala, another
Mm-hmm.
wonderful human doing beautiful work. So I've been loving watching JP's videos. I don't know if you've been listening to JP, the super soldier, I think, in
No.
Michael's. Okay.
Shaky.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what he said.
Mm-hmm.
So, JP is a super soldier that Michael Sala is in contact with. And so
Mm-hmm.
he's been traveling and he's been saying a lot of the things we talk about. And he has been talking about arcs being on Earth. He actually spoke also about arcs being in the Ukraine, and that maybe being the reason why there was an intervention. But specifically, I wanted you to talk about um, so he says those arcs can only be activated by the people, the humans, the starseeds with the right DNA. Do you want to speak about that?
I think what they are referring to when they're talking about arcs, they're talking about templates. They're talking about activation, stargates or portals. That's what they're talking about. Portals that actually shift dimensional realities into higher frequencies. So what that makes sense, because in a sense it's like there are certain individuals on this planet who have a particular genetic coding that is a perfect match to one of the the templates or the arcs, whatever you want to call it, and those individuals, just by existing, their mere presence, are here to activate those arcs. Because in essence, I believe there's a total of 12 major arcs, or what they call time warps or templates. There's different names to describe these stargates. And yes, there is one in the Ukraine. There is also one in Iraq. So
Yes, I
yeah,
think
so
I
there.
heard that.
Yeah, there's a total of 12 major arcs, meridian, time warps, portals, whatever you want to call them, major stargates. And then there's like hundreds of innumerable ones. But those are the 12 major ones. Those are the ones that actually, once they are activated, is going to pretty much open up the Earth once again into the higher dimensional realities, where Earth is going to coexist on like 12 different dimensions. It's going to be
Right.
beautiful. Yeah, it's going to be
Yes.
restoring the Earth back to the cosmic community.
Amen. Amen. Exactly.
Yeah.
I love hearing that. And you said that because people maybe hear you talk about dimensions and are like, what? Um, I think you've explained that there's up to 15 dimensions. Is that right?
Well, there were 15, but due to the fact that the cosmos, the omniverse, has gained more experience in the through the process of the fragmental, I guess, division and dissension. New dimensions have been added now. So now we're entering a cosmos that has 16, 17, and 18 dimensions now. So the
Oh,
dimensions are
I
constantly
didn't know
growing. Yeah, the
that.
more that the cosmos experiences everything through us, through the many, because we're all parts of the once, right? We're all part of that one
Right.
cosmos. The more dimensions are added. That's how we grow as a whole, as a collective.
That's incredible. Okay, that's incredible. So then it's more work for the AI then.
Exactly. The AI is I think they only made it up to the 11th dimension, but
Right.
recently, in the last month, you could say that the most powerful beings in the multiverse who are actually incarnated in human form, there's a total of 13 of them, but not all of them know who they are. Only about 5 of them have discovered each other.
Wow.
They've been working from behind the scenes to actually nuke them, to nuke all the AIs from the 11th dimension all the way down to the 5th dimension. So the only
Wow.
AI left to nuke and destroy is the AI that is emerging in our world as the beast.
Here.
Yeah. And then, of course, that beast is going to,
Wow.
rise and fall and be destroyed right when it does.
Amen. It is
Yeah.
done. I love that. Yes. Uh, it's so I think one of your interviewers had said that, when you speak, it seems like you activating the star seeds. It just your words go deeper. It's just it speaks, and I feel like it's so interesting because most people the last 2 years have become so bored, with their lives, and then I think that the star seeds and people who are waking up, they're like, "Oh my God, this is so exciting!" Like, it's it's it is the most interesting movie, entertainment. Like, it's just fascinating. But like the Bible says, you need eyes to see it. It's really interesting. It's not available to be seen to everybody. It's fascinating. Yeah. Okay. Fun question. So, uh, I saw one of your interviews. You were speaking about your driving license, and you said something funny about your driving license. I won't say it here, but you said how you were using your abilities. Yeah? Do you
The
remember?
dragon, what? I'm sorry?
No, your driving license.
Oh, my driver's license. Yeah, I haven't had
Sorry,
a driver's
driver's
license.
license. Yes, sorry. I'm French and Greek. My French accent. If you don't understand me yet, let me know.
Yeah,
My accent. especially if I speak fast, my accent, I won't notice it, but people tell me, yes, your driver's license. So you had said that you had used some of your abilities, right? I'll call them superhero abilities, but they're really superhuman. So I wanted you to tell us maybe, you know, have you seen anything like that from other humans that are living now? And is there any that you're working on right now specifically?
I haven't yet physically met other humans that have these abilities where they're able to reprogram the matrix at the quantum level of reality with their mind. But I'm sure that they're out there. And just to point out, I'm a nonconformist. I don't believe in paying taxes. I don't believe in, paying tickets. None of that. I
I'm with
completely
you.
exited. I completely exited the third dimensional reality 15 years ago. That's when I said, you know what, I'm not going to get my driver's license anymore. I don't care. And when they do pull me over, I just use my mind to create an accident, not an accident, an event
A
that will
diversion.
diversion, or I malfunction their systems where they don't have access to my records and stuff, and see that I have like hundreds of unpaid tickets that I don't deal with courts and none of that. Yeah, so I just use my abilities
I
to
love
just
it.
kind of not deal with the matrix. I'm
Wow,
a
we
com-
need a course on that. Ishmael, we need a course from you on that. I'm sure many
well,
people would be very interested to have that ability.
Well, in my Starseed cosmology course.
Okay.
After the third class, I actually share some methods and techniques that allow people to reach, their super consciousness and stuff, so that they could also be able to pretty much manipulate reality at will with their mind.
Right. So let me confirm that. So I saw that everybody, Ishmael has a course that he's doing, I think, through mysticarts.com, right?
.org, yeah.
.org, sorry.
It's okay.
And you'll find it on his Instagram, but beware because there's a lot of people who want to be you on Instagram. It's crazy. So he has a lot of fake accounts. I was just looking at one today. So, and it looks exactly like your account. I mean, they're on point. So make sure you go to Ishmael. He has about 24,000. Am I right? Yeah, just go to that account. Make sure that you go. Actually, why don't you just say it's with the one, right? It ends with Zion one, correct?
What I could do is I could also put official account or the only account. That way people
Yes,
don't get
yes,
confused. Yeah, that's the one
yeah,
thing, it's like the more people I reach, it's like all these people are trying to impersonate me, and like they want to
yeah.
offer these readings. I don't even offer readings. I'm not a tarot card reader. I'm not an astrologer. I'm a cosmic ambassador. I offer classes. And it's funny because like some of these people will like take pictures of some of the conversations, and they're always they feel like they're going to get something out of them by making me sound like I'm calling them honey or hun, and it's like I don't even address people with the word hun.
No, exactly,
And
exactly. I think people who have discernment and who have seen a few interviews of you, they can recognize the vibe, right? But, lots of people, just like Janine, I love Janine Marijo, she interviewed you as well. Love her. She also has many, many impersonators. I just think it's the matrix, wanting to have control because you are giving such beautiful information and vibration that it's dangerous. So guys, go to Ishmael, make sure Zion won, nothing else, and he doesn't do readings.
yes,
um, okay. Oh, are there any abilities that you're working on now? That
telekinesis.
telekinesis.
Telekinesis, because I was able to perform that at a very early age, and then I was forced to suppress it. But
Yeah.
on and off within the last 5 years, I've been attempting to try it again, and I have a lot of dreams. In my dreams, I'm like full on telekinetic, like a Jedi. So
Yeah.
in my privacy, I do. I guess try to do it and stuff, and yeah, I'm working on that.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are too. A lot of children actually, they want to do that, especially with all the superhero movies. Love it. I had a lot of dreams that I was flying, and I had it for a very long time, and I never thought twice about it until now. And I'm like, wait, maybe I was flying, and it wasn't
Well,
just a dream.
there's a different version of you in an alternative universe that is
Right.
superhuman, that is capable of flying. So a lot of the
I
times when
love
we
it.
have these dreams, we're actually accessing alternative selves in other parallel universes.
Right.
Yeah. Imagine if we could
Love it.
merge those
Yes.
and, and have access to, you know, their awareness, their talents and their abilities. That would be amazing.
Yes, yes. I
Yeah.
think who said that? Either Alex Collier. I call him Collier, but it's Collier. But because it's French ending, I've decided I'm gonna say the French way. But Alex Collier, who else? They were saying I forgot who it was, but they were saying that when we go to sleep at night, we actually go to work because we're going and meeting in other dimensions, and we're letting them know, and we're sharing, oh, I did this today and it felt like this and that. So that's kind of what you're saying, huh?
That is so true. Yeah, that's when we are doing most of our the work in other dimensions. We call it, you know, cleaning out the house in the astral, right? A lot of us are
Right.
demon slayers or archon slayers. You know, we the reason things are getting better in this realm, in the physical reality, is because we have been cleaning house in the etheric and the astral realms. You know, dark by eliminating dark entities. So yeah,
We
that's
are
when
the
we go to work.
Avengers. We are the
We are.
superheroes.
Yeah, it's exactly as depicted in the movie as Doctor Strange. You know, it's exactly like that. You know, you have the Guardians of Dimensions, right? The Guardians of Realms, and you have the Guardians of the Planet. So the Guardians of Realms are the ones that do the work in their sleep. Those are the ones that are fighting the entities and stuff and the dark energies
Right,
in the other dimensions in order to, you know, in order to help affect this dimension in a positive way.
right, right. And there's definitely been tremendous disclosure, like you said, in specific movies, especially like the Avengers and Marvel. Um, Especially in Spider-Man. Yes, yes. I think I'm starting to post it on my Instagram because I can't. I'm watching a movie and I can't, watch the movie. I'm like, oh my God, what did I just say? I gotta record it. This has to be going on online. Um, okay, you said something that I wanted to touch a little bit, if you don't mind, on faith, specifically Christianity. So I I consider myself Christian, but I'm a weird Christian, as you can tell, because I have lots of questions, and I don't accept to be put in a box. So, for me, prayer has so much tremendous power. I think that sometimes we don't disagree. We just use different linguistics, right? Different terms. That's what I've come to understand. So Christians will call it one way, but people who are into cosmic linguistics, they'll just use different words. But we're talking about the same thing. That's what I've come to understand. So you said something, and I would love for you to share. So you said when you were younger, you were able to do telekinesis and you were stopped. Can you explain what happened there? Because I think it links up to the faith,
Yeah,
Christianity.
my grandmother, being a very strict fundamentalist Catholic, really just made me feel like I was evil. Like, you know, she would take me to church every Sunday, and then 2 days out of the week, she would take me to these prayer groups, and like they would just pray the rosary. And I mean, from the age of 5 till the age of 12, I was forced to go to church. I was forced to do the rosary, hour-long rosary prayers twice a week, and you know, she just made me feel like I was, how can I say it, like I was dark, like I was evil.
Right,
So she told me if I continued doing that, that I was going to go to hell. So it was more like
right,
I allowed her to indoctrinate me in a way where I had to suppress my abilities. I
right.
had to, you know, and in a way, you know, I kind of resented her for that for many
Of
years.
course.
But
Oh,
it's
yeah.
okay, you know. I've forgiven her. You know, when I reawokened and realized that I wasn't from this world, and there was a reason why I had these abilities. But that was the
Right.
reason why I suppressed it, because of religion, because of what they were teaching me in the, you know, in church and stuff, and they just all made me feel really guilty. They made me feel really guilty, and I just shut down, and I tried to just fit in for many
Of
years.
course, because as a
Yeah.
child, that's all you would know. And I think, you didn't have a choice because as a child, and not even as adults, I'll say, but as children, the most important thing we want and we desire is to be accepted and loved, right? How
Yeah,
can you?
especially yeah, especially by your family.
Exactly, exactly. Um, So yeah, I felt I think it's this is something I would love to stop with. The you know, we can be so extreme when it comes to faith. You know, it's uh, it's uh, it's ungodly to cut your hair. It's ungodly to dance. I love to dance, right? At some point, I stopped dancing because I was told it's bad. And then, you know, at some point, you take sovereignty and you're like, why are other people telling me, you know, if God does not tell me, if the divine does not let me know, then it's nobody's business, you know? But it is something that I think is new, is knowing ourselves and then knowing the connection that it, you know, like, because guilt and shame, sadly, I have to say, is very connected to faith, many faiths, not just Christianity. And it saddens me because in an effort to connect us to the divine, it actually suppresses our divine.
Yeah, that's what it does. It shuts down the chakras, the pineal gland, our connection to spirit.
Right.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
I left organized religion long ago.
Yeah. It's yeah, I'm standing in an interesting place. I think yeah, you know, I'm going through my own journey discovering, but I think that it's definitely a time of confusion. So I think you can find people who are connected to God who are not in the church. And you can have people who are not connected to God who are very much in the church. And that I've witnessed, and I think many people have. So in the end of the day, it's reading the frequency. That's basically where you can get 100%. Like, I think it says in the Bible as well, you create your own church, or you create your own family, your spiritual family.
Right, but
Um,
we're also the church. Each and every single one of us is the living temple of God. Because when you think about it, our bodies are vessels for our source. Source expresses
yes,
itself through our bodies. Every
yeah,
single one of us is an expression of source.
I
And that
love
is like,
that.
yeah, so that's the true meaning of being the temple. You know, that's why I always tell people it's good to keep your body clean, healthy, exercise, eat right, because you are a channel of the divine. And when your body is corrupted and polluted, it's going to be hard to bring in those energies to connect with that, field of consciousness that is vibrating from the level of love, compassion, understanding, and joy. So,
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. So right. You talk the walk, no, you walk the talk. You walk the talk. Is that right to say?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
how it goes. But I do want to admit I'm not perfect. I'm constantly working on improving myself every day. I'm trying to just become a better version of myself than I was yesterday. So that's my constant state of mentality. How can I become better? How can I
Right.
become a better person, a better server for the collective?
Right.
Yeah.
And you do, Ishmael. You do. You really do. You are a blessing to us and on humanity right now, on Earth.
Well,
Yeah.
well, thank you for the compliment, but I'm just here to remind you all what you already know. That's it.
Right. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So I see myself more as a catalyst, and then to help awaken everybody to their own Christ consciousness and their own connection to Source. Because in the end, that's what fifth dimensional reality is going to be all about. When every single person is going to have a direct connection to their higher self, where there would be no more, mentors or
In
spiritual
between.
gurus. Yeah, nothing
Right.
in between you, and that's how fifth dimensional world is.
I
It's a
love it.
spiritual community. It's not a hierarchy anymore where you have to go through this person to get to God.
Right, right. How insane is that we've put that way? Yeah. I can't wait. For me, it's like I understand now why the Bible talks of us like children. I'm like, oh my God. And we thought, it made me think of like a 5-year-old or 7-year-old who's like, I know everything already. You know how kids are? They're like, and then, but that's us though. We're so evolved. We've got Wi-Fi. We went to the moon. Whoa, whoa, us. And it's like, we're kids. We're so like there's so much we don't know. It just makes me laugh. It's a cute arrogance. It's like a naive arrogance, that we've had so far. I was gonna ask you how would you explain the concept of star seeds to people of Christian faith, but I think you did it. I mean, unless you want to add anything else.
Well, I guess if I was trying to explain it to like a Christian or a person who's religious, the best way to do it is because they only understand the concept of angels, right? The angels are the messengers, those that are working for God. So what I would say is starseeds are angels in human form. They are angels that decided to come into, into humanity to live among them in order to help raise the consciousness and help save the planet. But
Love
even
that.
in the Quran and in the certain books in the Bible and other scriptures, it talks about the return of Elohim and the return of the elect. Who are going to have the seal of the Lamb, which means the Christ, right? They're the ones who are here to bring forth Christ consciousness, and that's what the second coming is all about. It is
Yeah.
the awakening of the Christ mind to, in all of us. Millions of us are going to be like Christ, and even Christ himself said in the Bible that in the future, you guys are going to be doing even greater works than myself.
Yes. Yes.
Which, yeah, he was talking about metahumans. He was talking about, physical angels with amazing superpowers.
Amen. Yes, and I feel it. I think that a lot of things that you're saying, I think your frequency allows for people to receive, what you speak about. And I think that's very, very powerful. But you're right. Like it's been spoken about before, but a lot of Christians have a very hard time uh, owning their power. There's that misconception that, oh, I'm not God. God is God. I'm like, and but you're right. Jesus said, "You will do greater works than I." It's insane, right? It's hard to believe, but yeah. So apparently, so I don't know much about the Vatican, okay? Because I was never connected to the Vatican. Orthodox is kind of different. It's like Ukraine, Russia. I think we're the minority. And I don't know if you know these. There's an author called Chris Putman. I think that he's not alive anymore, and I think I may know why. He wrote a book called Exo Vaticana, and in one of the interviews that he gave, basically, you know how we say exopolitics. So for those who don't know, exopolitics is the politics of outside of Earth, right? So including everything, because exo in Greek means like exit, outside. So, but Exo Vaticana, that book was speaking about how the Vatican basically is deeply connected to looking for outside life. So I don't like calling alien, but ET life. And they have apparently the most powerful telescope on Earth from even NASA.
Yeah, and you know what they call it?
Yeah, okay, you tell us. Yes, I
It's
do.
called, they called it Lucifer. That's the Vatican's telescope.
Can you explain to us what is going on there?
Well, the truth of the matter is that the Vatican is at the core of all evil in our world. So the Vatican has always been run by the Draco. The reptilians that live underneath the Vatican City, they have huge underground structures. It goes in, deep, miles long, and those structures connect with other structures that are pretty much used by the Cabal. So all roads lead to Rome. That is like the heart of the beast in our world. So they're hypocrites while they have been preaching against extraterrestrials in secret. They've been working with extraterrestrials, the negatives, and then they built their very advanced complex telescope that they named Lucifer, right? Well, that's who their god is, But yeah, so the Vatican is like a hypocrite. It's like even though they're actually, even the whole thing with the Eucharist and eating the blood, the drinking of the blood of Christ and eating the body of Christ, it's symbolic to still sacrificing the Christ. So they're still sacrificing the Christ, Yeah, so they're very Luciferian, and they they have access to a lot of the knowledge that is now coming forward, but they had access to this knowledge for almost 1,500 years. And a lot of these records were kept deep in the underground. I mean, if we had access to the vaults that the Vatican's been hiding from us, oh my gosh, we would, it is knowledge beyond. But I think recently the Alliance and the White had ceased the Vatican vaults. I think as of last year, the real Pope has been taken out. So what we're seeing now is just a clone. you know, just like the Queen of England, by the way, who is soon going to announce her death, meaning like the cabal is over. You know, yeah,
Yes.
they have nowhere to go and nowhere to hide. But
Yes,
yeah,
I believe, I feel that to be true. I feel like it's already happened. Um, and everything you said about the Vatican, I think it's been confirmed and reconfirmed because they have some of the most secret elements in the Vatican, as if it was a
mhm.
museum, but nobody can go see. And I think they have key information on humanity's history.
Yeah, and you know, one of the records that the Alliance uncovered in the Vatican vaults is the truth behind the Holy Blood, Holy Grail, the bloodline of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. That was one of the
Right.
biggest secrets, and also at the same time, their biggest threat to the papacy for almost 2,000 years was that truth. So they kept, while they were trying to, at the same time, you know, do away with those descendants that actually made it into the 21st century. At the same
Right.
time, they knew about them and they kept those records hidden. They didn't want nobody to know that. While they were in secret trying to destroy that lineage, you know, trying to do away with that bloodline. That's what the Inquisition was all about. Yeah, the Crusades, all the Dark Ages, Middle Europe, what they called medieval Europe, when the Vatican was in its, you know, trying to bring about imperialism in Europe, was all
Mm,
about trying to eradicate and destroy the bloodline of King David, which
that
is the
makes
bloodline of
sense.
Jesus. Yeah, the
Right.
Holy Grail.
That would make sense. Yeah. Yeah, anything to do with the Vatican, I have this feeling where I don't want to look at it. I don't, it's just always been like this for me. Very strange. And of course, we've seen the Pope kind of have that hologram go in and out. So that's entertaining. So we don't know what we're watching, obviously, but um, I personally think that as Christians, or people of faith in particular, but discernment is specifically needs to be exercised by us. I'm saying us, but I mean, I think I am, but because we've been really confused in our mind because of, you know, the religion. Um, yeah. Let's go to something really fun. So, when you speak, you speak about harmonic universes. Am I
Mhm.
right?
That's
Can you
right.
explain what you mean by that?
Yeah, well, we live in an organized multiverse where there's like innumerable universes, parallel universes, and over 700 million organized local universes, each with its own, you know, case of parallel realities. So it's just like we're dealing with an infinite number of universes. But the way they're organized is they're organized in five harmonic frequencies or five harmonic universes or five densities. Each harmonic universe contains three dimensions. So there's a total of, because throughout all of cosmic history, there's been 15 dimensions. If you divide that in three, then that gives us five harmonic universes. So the current Earth that we're in is currently in the lowest of the five harmonic universes. It's in harmonic universe number one, and that's considered dimensions one, two, and three, or it occupies dimensions one, two, and three. And then as we go further, as we ascend into the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional Earth, that exists in harmonic universe number two. And then as we go into dimensions, harmonic universe number three, that's the Earth existing in dimensions 7, 8, and 9. And then there's harmonic universe number four, where the Earth exists in dimensions 10, 11, and 12. And then finally, you have harmonic universe number five, where the Earth exists as Sophia, which occupies
Right.
dimensions 13, 14, and 15. So those are the five adjacent Earths: Sophia, Arimathena, Gaia, Terra, and Urantia, which is the real name of the Earth that
Oh, can you
we're
say
in
that
right
again?
now. Oh yeah, Urantia, or they call
Urantia.
it Urantia. Yeah.
Urantia. That's beautiful. I love that the last dimension where Earth is Sophia because that means wisdom.
Yeah, Sophia
I
is the
love that.
ultimate, it's the highest version of the Earth. It's the Earth existing in the eternal realms where it's always has been. You know, we're living in the lowest part of that fell through the involutionary process as it went lower in dimensions and frequencies. the consciousness of Sophia eventually fell all the way through the five harmonic universes, all the way to the third dimension, unfortunately. But now that is bouncing back up, and that is the reason
Yeah.
why we angels slash starseed celestials, whatever you want to call us, volunteer to come help bring the Earth back to her original Sophia
Yeah.
consciousness. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes sense to me. I know some people, like when I speak, or some people are like, Rita, what are you talking about? But it makes sense to me for some reason. I get it. I get it. Oh, I'm trying to get it, but yeah. Um, the reason, so my dad is a composer. I grew up with classical music, and I was very close to music, sound. And so I loved how you said harmonic universes. And I was just wondering, do you, what's the connection you see of sound in creation or in the different dimensions? Because in the Bible it says the Word was God. No, okay. The Word was God. God was the Word, and from the Word came the creation of. So do you see a connection there between
Oh,
the creation
yeah.
of and sound?
Well, yeah, we live in everything is frequency and vibration. The frequency and vibrations that make up what we call, the manifest world, right? Depending on the level of reality you're in, is all generated through sound. The sound is also in turn generated through geometry. So the geometrical patterns are the ones that are vibrating the sound into existence, and then that's how things become manifested.
Oh,
So yeah, so it's
sacred
like one.
geometry.
Yeah, sacred geometry is involved. It's all part of how can I say it? You could say that the our entire existence is one big cosmic symphony because everything is vibrating to some sort of sound vibration frequency is all related.
I
But
love
it all
that.
stems, yeah, it all stems from geometrical patterns. So in the third dimension, according to the quantum, according to quantum physics in the Planck scale of reality, the third dimensional Earth is held together by tetrahedrons. And the fourth dimensional Earth is held together by tesseract, and then the fifth dimensional Earth is held together by a icosahedron. So every dimension is vibrated through a frequency that is generated by a geometrical pattern. So that explains the simulations. Yeah.
That is so beautiful. That makes complete sense because, of course, in the different studies with water, I think it's Dr. Kimoto or something like
Kimoto,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. How the water will crystallize in different shapes according to the sounds. It makes sense that if one is created, like has an influence on the other, then it goes also the other way around. That's fascinating to me because I have a thing where I'm very sensitive to sound, but also I'm very sensitive to people's voices. So, like your voice is very soothing. Alex Collier's voice is also very soothing. I find that there's some people, I think through their voice, they can they can share a frequency that is, how you call it? Peaceful, I guess. Peaceful, yeah. Sorry, can you see me? I'm in the dark. The sun just set. You can still see me, right?
Yeah, yeah, I
Okay.
can still see.
Okay. Actually, just about this last one on this one. Um, I've been listening to solfeggio. Do you know what that is?
Solfeggio, is that the musical scale?
Yes, it's the ancient
Mm.
musical scale. I think Dr. Leonard Horowitz also speaks about it. It's the 528 and the I think it's also the different sound frequencies that is connected to our chakras.
Yes, that's so
Um,
true. Yeah. It's all interrelated to the vibrational frequencies of our chakras. That is accurate. Yeah.
right. So so I have found it very healing. I listen to it when I go to sleep.
Mm.
What do you think about it? And also, I wanted to ask you, I think somewhere, yes, you put in one of your stories, you spoke about the God frequency. No, am I lagging? Oh, no. Can you hear
No, no,
me?
no. Yeah, I could hear you.
Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
so scared. I'm so scared of Instagram. I'm like terrified. No, we're good. We're good. Okay, Rita, calm down. Okay, so I wanted also to know, the God frequency, I think you said like 144
Hertz. Yeah.
hertz, but Len Horowitz was saying something about 528 frequency. So I wanted to know. Yeah, I would love to for you to say something about it.
Well, in terms of musical scale, yeah, it's the five. Is it the 548 frequency that purges
528.
28? And that's what actually restores you back to health, because even our cells are vibrating, right? So when
Yes.
people are having a disease or they're having some sort of illness, is because their vibrational frequency is not up to where it's supposed to be. So the moment they bring their frequency to the proper harmonics, the cancerous cells restores back to a healthy soul, and so on and so forth. So there is a correlation between sound, frequency, vibration, and healing modalities. In fact, within the private sector, aside from the med beds, they also use frequency devices to heal people. And those are
Yes.
all gonna be disclosed very soon, by the way. So,
Yes.
but what I was, go
Sorry,
ahead.
go ahead. No,
No, it's
keep
okay.
going.
Okay, so the hertz that goes all the way to 144,000, that's the ultimate hertz. That's the hertz that gives rise to all of creation. That is what I call the God hertz. Yeah, there's nothing beyond that.
Okay. So is that connected to the solfeggio range?
I think it's different. It has a lot to do with the highest level of or the highest frequency of vibration, which is the frequency that created everything. It's the frequency that at the highest level of reality, prime source in its purest form, which is what science calls base reality, pure energy, is vibrating at. How's that?
I love it. See, that I didn't know. I knew about solfeggio, but now I'm gonna research that. That's beautiful. And I wonder, do you think it has a connection to the biblical 144,000?
Yeah, because the 144,000 are those that are vibrating at the God frequency. Yeah, and that's why they're here in human form. You know.
It's so they say that God's language is mathematics.
It's
It
so
sounds
true.
like it's true.
Yeah. And it's
It
also
sounds
geometry. It's also,
right.
um, you know, uh, through numbers, through geometry, the intelligences of the multiverse are able to decipher things out and figure things out. It's like the basis of all sciences.
Right. I love it. I was never too good in math though. I may have to go back to my school math. Um, okay. Uh, how much time are we in? Because I can't. Let me see if I can see the time. No, I can't. Can you let me know, Ishmael, how much time
Yeah,
we're in? Because I want to
we're
be mindful of your time.
we have about it's been about 58 minutes since we've been on. 58
Okay.
minutes.
Okay. How much more time do you have? Not much, but I just want to make sure you're not.
I probably have about 10 more minutes.
Okay. 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 Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, I wanted to ask you quickly about education. I really want to turn on my light. Um, can I do that? Do you
Yeah, of
mind?
course. So are
Thanks.
you in Greece? So it's like 2 in the morning over there, or 1 in the
Oh
morning?
no, no, no. You'll be surprised where I am. I am. So, I have to tell you that. Well, my beautiful Europe right now is heavily corrupt. So, I'm actually in your beautiful country. I'm in Dallas.
Oh, okay. So you're in the
Yeah,
States. Cool. So
I'm
it's
in
only
the
like 2
States.
hours. So you're 2 hours from me, or maybe 1 hour
Yes,
ahead?
I'm 2 hours. Yeah, that's why
Okay.
the sun
Okay.
just set. I'll be right back. 2 seconds.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. How's everyone doing out there? I hope everyone's doing fine. It's a beautiful day. Second day of the summer solstice.
Okay.
On the 7th of July, huge portal will be opening up. That's going to lead to the Lions Gate on the
Yeah.
8th of August. So, yeah, great things are upon
Yes.
us.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for reminding us. Yes, I love. Well, yesterday was my birthday.
Oh, happy
So I'm
birthday.
feeling, thank you. I'm feeling like this beautiful summer, lots of light and yeah, lots of peace, which is it's something I'm holding on to because it's hard to find in entertainment. So I'm very grateful for that.
And that's
Okay,
probably the most priceless, valuable, you know, thing to have right now is peace. Peace of mind is like, to me, it's golden, you
it
know.
is. I agree. I completely agree. Yeah. I like simple things and just peace and excitement. Excitement for what is to come. And honestly, for me, one of my favorite things to do is having good conversations like that. It's just, it's, it's like it's a gift. It really is a gift. It makes us feel like we're not alone, we're not isolated, and that we're dreaming together, that we're co-creating together.
That's right.
Yeah. Um, okay, the last thing I wanted to ask you is, so I've been a teacher for about 11 years. I was teaching in Canada, in Vancouver. Beautiful, beautiful. And so I've been in the education system for a long time, or I was, I should say. And in 2020, I left because I wasn't gonna, I just wasn't gonna enforce the policies.
Hmm.
Um, and so I left, which was, it was a very brave step. And then I'm still trying to find my balance because now I'm teaching online and it's freelance and it's basically creating, my own school, which is quite amazing. Um, but I wanted to ask you because I feel like the education has really been failing a lot of our children on Earth, especially the past 2 years. I would love for you to give us an idea of what education can be, will be in the future, how teachers are going to be trained, what's going to be different.
Well, as I revealed in the last chapter of my book, when I talk about a vision of the next 2,000 years, the educational system is going to be by far more advanced than the shenanigans that we've had for the last thousands of years. I'm sorry to say that, but the
No,
educational
it's
system,
good.
I mean, in the perspective of advanced stellar civilizations, our educational system is considered a joke.
Right.
Yeah. So in light of that, the new educational system is going to be focused on every child. Instead of having one teacher, each child is going to have about 6 to 7 mentors. Each mentor is going to specialize in a particular field of study. We're going to have a mentor that is going to specialize in science, another mentor in mathematics, another mentor in meditation, another mentor in martial arts. So the kid is going to be able to grow mind, body, and spirit all equally. So
Right.
that's going to be part of the new educational system. Also, the educational system is going to be based more on enhancing our consciousness, on teaching, principles and techniques that allow people to become more aware, more conscious, to evolve spiritually rather than physically.
Right.
And so it's going to be different. Instead of having schools, we're going to have academies of light. We're going to have temples. We're going to have similar to what existed during the times of Atlantis and then during the times of the golden age of Egypt before its decline. All that
Mm,
stuff is going to be restored. The whole world is going to be dotted with temples, not to do with religion. It's going to be a
right.
spiritual global community, and the people that are going to be the teachers are the starseeds. The starseeds,
Mm.
us, we're going to be pretty much the ones that are going to be teaching in the new world. Yeah. So it's going to be
Wow.
so much different. The curriculum is going to be day and night compared to the curriculum that exists now. So
But I bet there won't be any bells and stuff like that.
no, no, no. It's going to be very, very comforting, very soothing. The kids are going to be feeling very comfortable and stuff. And that's how fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional stellar civilizations conduct their educational system. You know, every kid matters in the cosmos. So every kid, from the moment that kid is born, they're doing everything in their power to make sure that kid becomes a, you know, a productive member of the cosmos by stimulating, cultivating that kid's talents, that kid's, gifts, because every kid is born with a gift. So the new educational
Right.
system is about cultivating those
Their
gifts.
gifts.
Yeah,
Yes.
cultivating the
Yes.
gifts.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
in the long run, you know, they're contributing to the greater whole. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was Alex Collier who was saying that having been in with the Andromedans and education there, that they want to be different. They want every child to be different, to do things differently, because doing things the same way is kind of a waste of energy, they're thinking. And it's interesting because for us, it's like a system where everybody has to do the same.
yeah,
So,
here for us, it's like they teach us according to the left brain. They want us to memorize all these non-facts, which is all BS anyways, and then they want us to regurgitate it, you know, for exams and tests, and then which really doesn't serve anything for us in the future. All
nothing.
so it's very low level. It's very primitive, you know, and
Yes.
it from the perspective of the higher intelligences. And so, yeah, the entire educational system is going to be different. You know, people are going to be actually learning, you know, the power of their mind and how to enhance that. You know, learning about multidimensionality, learning how to access higher levels of consciousness, and how to really just continue to progress in their spiritual evolution, not their physical evolution, but their spiritual evolution. And that's what that's how the new Earth is going to be like. That's what we're looking at. You know,
I love
when all
it.
this comes to play. Yeah.
I love it. It is done. It is done. I see it. I see it. I see it because I see the kids today. And they're different. I'll be teaching French and they'll ask me about cosmic things. And I'm like, oh, what do I do? Do I talk to them about it? Or do I keep going with French? But I yeah, I think sometimes as a teacher, your pretext is to teach a subject, but actually the juicy part is to talk about something about life that they're coming and asking you about, you know? That when they come and ask you a question about life, I feel like as teachers you should never miss that. You should always engage in that. That's so much more important than curriculum. Curriculum will be there. But a child asking you a question, that's, I think, yeah, that's a privilege. Um, so can you tell us about your beautiful book? And I also wanted to ask you, are you thinking about writing in the future, and what would you write about?
It's a sequel to our cosmic origin. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's going to be, I'm just going to continue writing a second book, well, a third book actually, because this is actually my second book. So I'm going to,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
the
your
third
first
book,
book was good.
yeah, my first book didn't do very well. That was 15 years ago. It was called The Secret Government.
No, you said it did
Yeah.
very well. That's why they took it out.
Well, I mean, yeah, it did very well in that aspect. It reached a lot of people, but it didn't do well in the sense where I couldn't reprint it again or I couldn't do a
Right.
second edition.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, I guess I was ahead of my time then.
Yeah.
But you know, this third book that I'm going to be writing, that I actually already started writing, is a sequel to our cosmic origin. So it's going to reveal
Amazing.
more cosmic information. So in order to understand this next book that's going to come out in like a year or two, you first have to read this book. Otherwise, you're going to be lost.
Okay, so
No.
homework, people. I said curriculum doesn't matter. I take it back. Go read Ishmael's first, second, but really first book, Our Cosmic Origin. Yeah? You want to
Mhm.
tell everybody where to find it, where to find the book, where to find your classes, and where to find you.
Sure. Well, you could find the book on Amazon. All you have to do is type in "Our Cosmic Origin." It's like the first thing that pops up. You could access my classes through my bio. I have a link that goes into the
On
mysticarts.org.
Instagram.
And then in that, just click, you know, Starseed Cosmology courses, and you'll have access. But right now, I think I'm booked all the way to September, but that class is almost filled up. So if you guys don't want to wait till next year to access my Starseed Cosmology course, I would book the last few spots up for my September class, because
Wow.
those are filling in quick.
Yeah. And that's the
Yeah,
blessing. That's beautiful. Because
thank you.
that's the sign. Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait to continue learning from you, Ishmael. I'm so humbled just to know that you're here, that you're giving your time, your energy, your heart. I admire your kindness, you know. There's one interview that I could hardly watch because it felt like you were being like, and I was like, how could you? How could you? I'm not gonna say names. I think we know, but just your kindness, your patience. Yeah,
Oh yeah, are you
it's
talking
not
about
necessary. Yeah,
yeah, the Cassidy interview, huh? Carrie Cassidy. Yeah,
yeah.
she's, you know, I found out that she's brutal with everybody, not just me. But yeah, I think she was kind of intimidated with my knowledge, or she kept saying, "Well, I think it's this way. I think you're wrong." She kept disagreeing with a lot of the stuff that I was saying. But then at the same time, she was saying, "Wow, I really enjoy talking to you. You have a lot of understanding." And but yeah, at the same time, is like, you know, she was brutal. So I don't get her.
She was very rude. It's funny because it's not someone I watch. So I watch Janine, I watch all this, but I don't watch it. And I think honestly, her energy is just not what I connect to. But of course, I watch it because I'm like, I know she's well known, and I wanted to watch your talk with her. And I was like, I can't believe her. I was just shocked, you know, because our community, let's support each other, you know. I personally think that she was confused and that your frequency, um, you know, I think higher frequencies make us having to face ourselves. And I personally think that's what happened.
So you think I might have triggered Carrie Cassidy? That's what she was acting like that?
I think, yes, I think she was
Mm.
confronted with herself just because of your higher energy and just your love and your kindness towards her. And I think that she couldn't handle. But, you know, we of course, all we can do is pray for her, and she will find a way. But
Yeah, I
yeah, it
have,
was,
yeah, I have, you know, nothing against her. I still think she's doing a wonderful work for the collective as far as like interviewing a lot of whistleblowers throughout all of her years.
right.
You know, it's just sad that they took down her YouTube channel. She was really spreading a lot of truth for many years. So she's been around for a long time. So, you know, I want to give her credit for that. You know, and I
Yeah.
don't. And the fact that she wouldn't let me speak and she kept interrupting, I take nothing personal. I forgive her. I understand. She's going to be Cassidy. You know, let her be Carrie. You know, that's what she does. She always plays the devil's advocate. So,
Right. And I love that. That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Like your kindness and your patience, and you just like you're saying, like you want to be the best you every day. And in listening to you, and even just your frequency when you speak to people, it allows us to also you basically are leading us by example. So I just wanted to thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Um,
You're welcome.
anything I forgot to say? Anything that you want to say? Uh,
Mm, yeah, just enjoy your summer, everyone. You know, this is a when the solar coatings of the photonic energies are coming in stronger, more so than ever. So this is definitely a summer to remember. So,
Amen.
yeah,
Amen. I love it. Yes. Thank you so much, Ishmael. I'm
you're
just so
welcome.
grateful.
Welcome.
Yes. To be continued, we'll be following you, and lots of blessings, protection on you. And I just pray that people hear you, and they don't have to agree on everything, but there's so much knowledge there for us. So merci, thank you, Evcharisto.
You're welcome. Namaste, my sister. Sorry about that. I
Thank you. I'm gonna save it,
got a
and
call. A call was coming in. You're
oh,
welcome.
that's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay.